What's going on, guys? Carson here, once again back with another edition of Signature Sundays. I think it's episode number 9 now, so can't believe we're rolling right through these. But once again, you guys don't want to hear me ramble. You want to see some signatures and some books. So we'll go ahead and get right into the first box here. So I got Secret Invasion, number 1. One of the first blank covers Marvel ever created. This one is signed by Brian Bendis. I kind of wish you would have signed it like up top here somewhere, but oh well. I guess I have a Bendis signature right in the middle of kind of where if I was going to get this filled in, it'd be there. But hey, oh well, still cool to have. Next up, I got a Secret Invasion number 1. This time, it's the black and white retailer variant. And it doesn't show up the best on the camera, but right there is a Leinil Francis Hughes signature right on the logo there in silver. So happy to have that. And then I believe this artist's name is Mel Ruby, if I remember correctly. I got these in like a mystery box way back when, but I got more Secret Invasion. This time another issue 1. They were all Dynamic Forces variants that were signed, so issue 1 signed right there. Issue number 2, which I think is his nicest cover, got it signed right there. And then the last one I got signed is issue number 3. Once again, Dynamic Forces variant there. Here's an awesome one. I got a Marvel Superhero Secret Wars number 1. It is double signed by John Beatty and Mike Zeck, who has one of the nicest signatures there is. And I guess it should also be of note, this is the Blue Galactus variant that people have been talking about over the last year. So have that inside there to look forward to as well. More Secret Wars and secrets and that stuff. We've got Secret War Book 1 of 5. This is like from the mid-2000s. Got it signed by Bendis. This is like the white edition cover. I think it's basically a second printing, but they just kind of slapped some white and gold on it and called it the commemorative edition. So there you go. Got a Bendis signature on that. Next up, everyone, they love him some... Adam Hughes. I do not have these signed by Adam Hughes because, my opinion, not his greatest covers, but nonetheless still happy to have him in the collection. I got Serenity's Serenity Better Days, issues 1 through 3. I got them all signed by the interior artist, Will Conrad. So right there is Will Conrad's signature. Issue 2 as well, right next to Inara right there, which I do dog Adam Hughes a little bit, but if he just stuck to Inara, it would look very awesome. So, gotta say that. And then issue number 3, signed by Will Conrad as well. My favorite covers, though, that have been done for Serenity Comics was when they originally got Serenity as a property. So they had another 3-issue series. I believe it was just called Serenity around the time the movie came out. And each issue had 3 covers by really popular artists at the time. So I have an issue 1, the Malcolm variant. This one's signed by interior artist Will Conrad. And I got this one signed by the cover artist John Cassaday, who I was a huge fan of from his astonishing X-Men run. And, of course, Captain America 2. Got Serenity number 1 once again. This time we got the Inara variant. Beautiful one. Might be my favorite one personally. Signed by J.G. Jones, the cover artist, and interior artist Will Conrad. And then I have one issue 2, Zoe variant. Signed really, really big in 2006 by Joe Quesada and interior artist Will Conrad. So, not every day you get to see, especially like in the 2000s, you see Joe Quesada do some non-Marvel work. So I thought that was kind of cool. So that includes the box 1 for the day. The next box might be my smallest one in terms of signatures, surprisingly. So I only got 8 signatures that I found in this box. So I've got some Skull Kickers. I think I found all these in dollar bins. They were all signed by Jim Zub. So here's issue 25. I guess it was an Awesome Con Convention variant. And it's just signed right on the top corner there. Issue 26 is signed at the bottom. And then I got 27 as well signed up top there. And then for some reason I didn't have an issue 28. Whoever put them in the dollar bins, I guess, kept that one, or someone found it separately. But I got an issue 29 with the signature on the bottom. And then I hope you guys like Spider-Man, because get comfortable. It's the rest of the video. I'm just warning you guys. So I'm guessing in the comic book community, a couple people like him some Spidey. So I got a Spectacular Spider-Man 107, beginning of the Sin Eater saga, signed by Peter David. Oh, look at that. It's one of those, the newsstands. So there you go. There's your newsstand of the day. Spectacular Spider-Man 107. So there you go. And, of course, we got 108 newsstand as well. Signed by Peter David right there. We got 109, which I think is the nicest cover of the lot. Signed right next to the Red Sun by Peter David. And, of course, we got 110, Daredevil versus Spidey, also signed by Peter David right on top of the title there. So that was it for the next box. But the last one, oh, my goodness. So we got this whole stack here. And then we had this whole stack here, so a good chunk of the short box was actually signed. So we'll just go ahead and roll right into it because we got some good ones here to talk about. We'll start off with Amazing Spider-Man 400, signed by Mark Bagley. Bought this off the rack as a kid myself, so I had this one in the collection a very long time, from 94 if I remember right. So happy to get that one signed eventually. I got a lot of these Spider-Man, the others signed. I think it might be the first Moreland or something if I remember right. I remember from this lot, he doesn't have to. He has organic webbing and his eyeball gets eaten. So very interesting story on. But I got this one signed by Mike Deodato. I met him in a Wizard World probably around 2008 if I remember right. That's where I got that awesome sketch from him. 527 signed by Deodato as well. And then we go to Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which I have issue 4. Signed by Peter David right there. I've met Peter David several times at Wizard Worlds, at Indiana Comic Cons, and I think I have met him in Louisville. So I've met him in basically 3 states. So got a lot of Peter David signatures in the collection. So here's Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #1. Probably the nicest looking of the signatures in my opinion. Just like that silver on there above Spidey's head. Also got Marvel Knights Spider-Man 19, signed by Peter David. Yeah, this is kind of when they had like a Spidey title a week. So it's hard to keep track of all of them. Amazing Spider-Man 525, signed by Peter David. And oh wait, under my hand, I almost forgot. We got a hidden Mike Deodato signature down there, right next to the headstone. So cool double signed Spidey book right there. This is the one where Spidey gets his eyeball eaten. I was actually flipping through it when I was rebagging it. This one's signed by Mike Deodato. So pretty much just Spidey gets killed off in that and reborn in the following issue. Switching it around a little bit, we got the Spectacular Spider-Man #1. This one's double signed. You can kind of see at the bottom below Spidey and Venom there. Humberto Ramos signature there. And we've got Paul Jenkins up there. I think that was Wizard World 07. He was pretty hungover. This is around the time he was really popular from Wolverine's Origin, Wolverine the End. And me and my brother talked to him about the Indianapolis Colts. So that was kind of fun. Next up, we got a double signature. Spider-Man Black Cat, The Evil That Men Do. Signed by both Dotson, so Terry and Rachel Dotson. Beautiful cover. Too bad it took an eternity for this to come out back in the day, because I remember it's actually a pretty fun series. And then there's issue 2, once again, signed in a pretty good spot by Terry and Rachel Dotson there. So there you go. Another awesome cover. Here's one I found in a dollar bin. This one, I guess, was signed in 1997 by John Romita Jr. It's Peter Parker Spider-Man #80. Found this last year at a half-price books dollar bin, so I thought, you know, why not get a Romita sig? All right, next up, we got some awesome J. Scott Campbell covers. This one's double signed. It's issue 30, and I got signed by J. Scott Campbell right there, and unfortunately, I don't know if you could have picked a worse spot to put a signature, but we got a John Michael Straczynski signature right on top of Spidey there. So there's that. We got an issue 33, double signed by the same individual, so J. Scott Campbell and John Michael Straczynski. Signature shows up a little better on that one. 34, I just got signed by J. Scott Campbell. Another newsstand, so there you go. It was kind of interesting that it was a newsstand, though, because obviously the barcode, Campbell signature's right there, by the way. But you see, like, they used to put ratings on the books. Like, the next one will say Marvel PG next to the number. They just left that one blank, so I thought that was a little strange. So the example would be on this one. Or on the next one, they actually have the Comics Code of Authority right there. So, I don't know, just some tiny little noticeable detail I saw when I was rebagging them. But nonetheless, I got 35 signed by J. Scott Campbell as well, which is probably the most mundane J. Scott Campbell cover I've ever seen. Doesn't even have has a foot on there in a costume, so that was kind of funny. Dialing back, we got 31 signed by J. Scott Campbell in a nice purple there. So there you go. Enjoy that one. Probably shouldn't have got this one signed, just because it's right in the dang center of the cover. But I got Amazing Spider-Man 36, signed by John Michael Straczynski. At least he pulled out the silver marker for that one. But still, nonetheless, happy to have this book. Thought it was cool to get a signature on. I just wish he would have put it over the title, kind of like Chris Claremont does. So, wouldn't like that way if I ever wanted to get like a Spidey or something on there. But nonetheless, got a cool signature there. It's very visible. Got an issue 50. I think this is my triple signed book of the day. I got it signed by JMS, J. Scott Campbell, and down there I got it signed by John Romita Jr. So cool to have a triple signature Spider-Man. And then the last one in this stack, got issue 51. Beautiful Mary Jane cover signed by J. Scott Campbell. Right there, nice silver. Whew. Arm's starting to hurt from holding all those signature books. We got issue 52. Once again, signed by J. Scott Campbell. Another awesome Mary Jane cover. We got issue 500. This one's double signed. Once again, J. Scott Campbell and John Michael Straczynski got double signatures on that. Love that cover, by the way. One of my favorite Campbell Spidey Man covers. We got issue 529. Got a double signature. This is the little introduction of the Iron Spider costume that everyone was speculating on post-Civil War. So you got JMS, and then Ron Garney signed this one. So I met him at, I think it was the first C2E2 he was at in 2010. He also signed a bunch of my Civil War Spider-Mans for me. So I got issue 535 signed right there in the dead center of the book. Same thing for 536, 538, and then 539, which I do like the silver Sharpie on the black cover there. So I thought that was real nice. Next up, we got issue 546 of Amazing Spider-Man. This time signed by Dan Slott, one of my favorite writers. Don't care what anyone says. I still love his Spider-Man run. Here you go. Here's a good one. We got The Amazing Spider-Man 600. This is signed by Dan Slott. And then at the bottom there, you probably see that nice, shiny Alex Ross signature. Who did this phenomenal cover. So definitely happy to have an Alex Ross signature in the collection. Met him, I think, twice, actually. I think C2E2 2010 and 2012, if I remember right. Actually, I might have met him 3 times. I think I met him at a Wizard World as well. So nonetheless, happy to have that. We got 654.1. Thanks for the decimals, Marvel. Really, couldn't you just make this 655 and keep going? But nonetheless, by Spidey's leg there, we got Humberto Ramos' signature on this one. Here's a good issue. This is, I think it's J. Jonah Jameson's wife gets killed on this one. And Marcos Martin does some phenomenal art, but Dan Slott killed it on the writing. So I decided to get this book signed by him. So, and that was one of his favorite issues too, he said, when I met him. But also got 656 signed by Dan Slott, right above Spidey's head there. Here is a store variant. I got issue 666, double signed by Dan Slott at the bottom, Ryan Stegman. And if anyone wants to know what my store looked like 10 years ago that I still go to now, there it is, dead center, Vintage Phoenix in Bloomington, Indiana. So, wonder if what they'd think of getting that book double signed. We got a bunch of Superior Spider-Mans because I've seen Ryan Stegman a bunch of times. So I got Superior Spider-Man #1 signed in the corner right there. I think I got him to sign a lot of these at Indiana Comic-Con 2017, I think. Got issue 2 signed right there. Issue number 3 signed at the bottom. Issue number 9, because like I said, they skipped around the artist on these. So unfortunately, he didn't do this. I think they had Giuseppe Camuncoli did a lot of these too. I'd like to meet him. He's a great artist too. But I got issue 10 signed by Ryan Stegman there. Got issue 17 signed by Stegman. Cool Spider-Man 2099 meets Superior Spider-Man crossover. Issue 18, same thing. Right at the bottom there. Awesome Stegosaurus signature. Got to say that, by the way. We got issue 19 signed as well. Up top, right there. And then the last book of the day. We got Amazing Spider-Man in Silk #1 Fried Pie variant. Wow, that's kind of a mouthful. This one is signed by the cover artist, Saya Ohm, who just knocked it out of the park on this cover, in my opinion. So, was happy to meet her. I think it was last year at Cincinnati Comic Expo. So, she was really nice, and she does some great commissions, too. I'd like to try to get on her list at some point. Alright, so to conclude these videos, we usually do what we call the driveway totals. So our totals for today's video are 63 books and 79 signatures, most of which came out of box 27 of my collection. So the Spider-Mans alone, I guess, would be 42 books and 54 signatures. But the overall, it's the number we care about the most, obviously. 648 books, 842 signatures. Dang, we're getting there. Hopefully we'll hit 1,000 before the boxes are done, because I guess just to sum up, I got 3 more rows of boxes. So I think we can do it. So that being said, thank you guys so much once again for joining me for Signature Sundays. I'm actually, hopefully if everything goes well and you guys pay attention this whole time, I'm doing a little bit of editing. So let me know what you guys think of that. If you don't care, you think it sucks, let me know. But other than that, thank you guys so much and have a wonderful rest of your day.